All right. And what the people really want to know are, what are your plans to address the perceived level of corruption in Illinois politics and state government?
I find it interesting you added the word perceived in there, because it's not just perceived, it's reality. And we need, and this is my personal, Paul and I have not necessarily talked about corruption in government, except for it needs to stop. And we need to do it by electing people that, one of our points on our 3 policies, we have parents' rights, safety and security in our community, and trust in government. We need to restore trust in government. We need to elect individuals that prove their integrity and are trustworthy. And Paul and I have both done that. We have been representing the people of McHenry County, the people of Illinois. Paul had represented us as a Marine, and as I mentioned, as a prosecutor for the Marines. We need to restore trust in government, and we need to add consequences to those that are corrupt. We don't have any consequences, so they continue to do the same thing over and over, and we continue to elect the same people, or the people that are funded by the same individuals.
Ethics reform is a no-brainer. In business, if we allowed the conflict of interest that we see in our state, we'd be out of every business we'd own would be done. Couldn't survive. When we look at what's going on in Springfield, a legislator can be done today and be a lobbyist tomorrow. There's not many states like that. I would want a cooling off period of 5 years. Many states have 2 years, the 5 years cooling off period. 5 years seems like the right number. When we look at Madigan, the Madigan machine in Madigan, being able to pay his legal bills with his campaign fund, it's ridiculous. That's got to be illegal, right? When we look at our legislators having law firms doing business for the lobbyist and for the state of Illinois, that can't happen in the future. So ethics reform is a big deal. And if we just look at normal business principles that are legal, that work, it's the same thing. Unfortunately, we've made corruption legal in Illinois, and we got to make it stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing we have to do is bring God back into politics. Bring God back into politics. It is okay to bring God with you to the polling booth. Hold all your candidates accountable. Find out what informs their decision. Everyone here has a frame of reference. For me, it is my Christian faith and my Christian values. When you take God out of society, or when you take God out of schools, God out of every institution, then you create evil. You create chaos. Secondly, term limits. Term limits. Hold your candidates and public officials accountable to term limits. If the president can only serve 2 terms, so can any other office.
Where's the corrupt Democrat candidate Irvin when we need him so we can talk about corruption? No, this is awesome stuff. I've also proposed legislation. I had a 3-year revolving door legislation that if you left, you got voted out, or you left your position, that it'd be 3 years before you could come back as a lobbyist. And as well, we've got to start seeking men and women of honor and integrity and putting them in place. Term limits. I have a self-imposed term limit of 10 years as a House member or 10 years as a senator, but we certainly need term limits, because in the state, and I'm talking just state and federal, I believe your local units of government, you can handle that. So I look at it, you guys, God bless you for sticking this out. So this is amazing. This is patriotism. Don't get yourself sick, though, and leave when you need to, but God bless you for being here.